Welcome back to the qualifying round of King of the Mountain Season 4, Tournament number 1.
Let's see the lineup for tonight's race.
Up first is Frank White, driving for Elevation Diecast Racing.
Frank White comes to us from Loveland, Colorado, and is driving in the Buick Regal GNX.
Grand National Experimental.
Oh, I'm surprised you actually knew that. Then driving in the Ford RS 200 is Emil Speedster.
Emil, driving for the Soul Family Racing Team, comes to us all the way from Bavaria, Germany.
It looks like he's ready for some rally racing.
Go for the big air, Emil. Go for the big air. Then we have Dangerous Brian from England.
Dangerous Brian, driving for Team Suffolk Punch, is in the Audi Sport Quattro.
You know, Brian may be dangerous, but he is not more dangerous than the next car we have right here.
Well, I guess that brings us to our last driver. It's Manzi, driving for Suburban Nerd Minis in the Ford Mustang SVO.
Don't you think it's a little soon to have one of these cars back out the racing, especially after the events of last week?
We have a schedule that we have to stick to.
Just look at this thing. It already has damage on the bumper. How'd that happen?
They probably had a rough qualifying run.
It's an instrument of destruction, 3D, an instrument of destruction.
We'll just cross our fingers and hope for the best. Here we go with the first race. Frank White starting in the pole position in that silver Buick GNX. Dangerous Brian right on his tail. Here they go through the first 180 turn. Frank White looking good out there so far.
He's doing some clean racing in that Buick.
Taps the wall there, gets a bump from Brian.
Driving dangerously.
And Frank White will hold on to the lead to take the win on race 1. Whoa!
There you go. That almost took out some people.
Emil Speedster popping up on the curb after the finish. It appears he is okay and no one was hit.
Well, that's a relief. His car was headed straight for the crowd.
You can see him bouncing back and forth right here, hits the center divider. That sent him flying into the curb to spin around. Luckily, he landed in the road.
I think that Mustang is rubbing off on him.
Are you seriously going to blame every crash on a Mustang, even when the Mustang wasn't involved?
Emil is driving in a Ford. He's out there with Manzi, who's driving a Mustang. I think there's a connection somewhere.
I think you're just biased and you're making connections where there aren't any.
It's intuition, 3D. I have a sense for this type of thing.
This time we have Emil Speedster in the RS 200 in the pole position. He is really moving out there. Frank White in second. White gaining on Emil Speedster. Can he catch him?
The chase is on right here.
Emil picking up some speed. Here they go over the bridge, and race 2 will go to Emil Speedster.
A close finish there for third and fourth.
Frank White not taking that loss very well. Dangerous Brian also running into Manzi.
Well, that wasn't really Dangerous Brian's fault. Manzi kind of spun around and got in the way.
Wow, the bias is strong with you tonight.
I am not biased. That's what happened.
I really thought you were making progress in this area.
I don't need to make progress. I'm fine. I'm just calling it like it is.
You know, denial is like
3D,
the first
can we get back to this race, please?
I'm just trying to help.
Back to the race.
Do you need a hug?
No.
Are you hungry?
No. Well, kind of.
See, I knew it was something. Rule number 1, never commentate on an empty stomach.
I was trying to get some food before I got up here, but Jimmy's had a long line.
Well, it is a popular spot on race night. Here we go with race 3. Manzi in the black Mustang starting in the pole position. Dangerous Brian on his outside in the Audi Sport Quattro.
Here we go.
Manzi in the lead. It's a close group into the first big turn. Emil with the overtake on the inside.
What a move.
Now he's blocking traffic, going backwards. This is chaos.
Oh, such sweet, beautiful chaos. Now he's driving Crazy Jimmy style.
Emil Speedster through the parking garage, over the bridge, and will take the win going in reverse.
Ooh, is he going to be okay?
I'm sure he'll be fine. What a win there for Emil Speedster. That win right there will move him to the top of the scoreboard. He now has 12 points. Frank White in second with 9. Dangerous Brian has 7, and Manzi has 5.
That was a pretty epic move by Emil.
Here's the replay of the overtake. Emil on the inside, overtaking Manzi. Then he goes right into a blocking maneuver to slow everyone else down.
You know, blocking like this right here is a high-risk, high-reward type of situation. In this instance, it paid off big time for Emil.
It certainly did. Emil now 3 points ahead of Frank White. Frank White is starting this race in the front row. Emil Speedster in the back. So it is certainly not over yet. But you got to be feeling pretty good right now if you're Emil Speedster.
I'd be feeling pretty good right now if I had a meal, like something to eat.
Can someone get this guy some food?
Maybe some chips.
Dangerous Brian in the lead. Frank White in second place trying to catch up to Brian. Emil Speedster back in third place.
Frank White trying to make a move on Dangerous Brian.
Brian sliding out of the parking garage. And he will take the win on race 4. Followed by Frank White. Somehow Emil felt, whoa.
Ooh, that was nasty.
Dangerous Brian upset about something, and I think it's the score.
Oh, wow. Emil advances on by 1 point over Frank White and Dangerous Brian. That is close.
I did not think it was going to be such a close finish in points. Emil was in third place, fell back to fourth, but it was the win on race 3 where he overtook Manzi that secured his spot in tournament number 1.
Well, he certainly knows how to take a hit.
Hopefully that didn't knock him out of alignment. And there you go, Emil Speedster putting Germany in the tournament. He's currently qualified in 8th place with a track time of 15.8982 seconds. We thank you for joining us. We hope you enjoyed this race.
If you did, make sure you slap the person next to you.
Why would you tell them to do that?
I'm sorry, I'm just really hungry.
Don't do that. Do not listen to 2D. If you want to slap something, slap the like button.
That's what I meant to say.
Thanks for joining us. Until next time, I'm 3dbotmaker.
And I'm 2D.
And you've been watching
King of the Mountain.